Welcome back, everyone. It's here. And today I've got some r/BestOf for you all. As per usual, I'll be reading you the posts, giving you my opinions, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. This post was collected by Direct Caterpillar 77, and their tagline is, "Satan is not a pogo stick." The original OP is 1test2447, posted to r/AmITheAsshole, April 22nd, 2026. Am I the asshole for refusing to keep a secret from my boss after a weird encounter with his daughter? So this happened a couple of days ago, and I'm still kind of thinking about it. I work at a small company, like maybe 10 people total. My boss is actually a pretty solid guy, no issues with him at all. Since it's a small place, you kind of see family members here and there, but it's not like we all hang out or anything. Anyway, I stayed late to finish some stuff. Everyone else had already left. While I'm there, I hear the door open, and it ends up being my boss's daughter. I think she's like 19 or 20. I've seen her before, but we've never really talked. At first, it seemed normal. She said she was there to grab something her dad forgot. But then she just kind of hung around my desk instead of actually looking for anything. She starts asking me questions, like if I have a girlfriend, what I do outside of work, stuff like that. It wasn't super crazy, just felt a little random for someone I barely know. Then she says something like, "You're way more interesting than the people my dad usually hires," and laughs. I kinda just laughed it off because I don't really know what to say. Then she asks if I want to hang out sometime. Not like a casual thing, it definitely felt like she was hitting on me. I told her it probably wasn't a good idea because of the whole "your dad is my boss" situation. That's when it got kinda weird. She got a little annoyed and said I was making it weird and that she wouldn't tell him. Then she goes, "Honestly, it'd be better if you didn't even mention I was here." That part didn't sit right with me. I didn't agree to anything. I just said I had work to finish and she should grab whatever she came for. She left pretty soon after that. Next day, my boss asks if anyone had been in the office late because something got moved. I paused for a second, but I ended up telling him his daughter stopped by. Didn't go into the whole conversation, just that she was there. Later on, he seemed kind of off with me. Not rude, just a little short and distant. Now I'm wondering if I should have just kept my mouth shut like she asked. I wasn't trying to start drama or anything, it just felt weird to lie about it. Am I the asshole? Update, April 25th, 2026. Alright, this got a lot messier than I expected. So after a few days, my boss ended up pulling me aside to his office yesterday. Long story short, I told him the full version of what happened. He didn't get mad at me at all. If anything, he looked more tired than anything else. Apparently, this isn't the first time she's caused issues like this. He didn't go into a ton of detail, but he basically said she has a habit of putting him in bad positions with people he works with. Also, like some of you guessed, she told him a completely different version of events. According to her, I was the one being weird and asking her personal questions. He said it didn't really add up, which is why he asked me directly. So, I figured that was the end of it. It wasn't. Last night, my fiancé texted me, asking if I know someone by my boss's last name. I said, yeah. Why? Turns out his daughter found her on Instagram. I have no idea how because I don't even have my workplace listed on my profile. But she followed my fiancé and then started liking a bunch of her pictures. Not just one or two, like scrolling back and liking older posts too. My fiancé thought it was weird immediately and asked me what was going on. So now I had to explain the whole situation to her, which was not a fun conversation. It gets better. About an hour after that, my fiancé gets a DM from her. Nothing crazy aggressive, but super passive aggressive. Something like, "You seem really sweet," smiley face. And, "Just so you know, not everyone is who they act like at work." Now my fiancé is pissed, obviously. She asked me straight up if there was anything I wasn't telling her. So now I'm dealing with that on top of everything at work. I haven't responded to the daughter at all, and neither has my fiancé, but it's just weird. Like it feels intentional at this point. I texted my boss about it this morning and he was genuinely embarrassed. He apologized to me and said he'd handle it, whatever that means. So yeah, now I've got my boss's daughter creeping on my fiance side-eyeing me because of the situation, and I'm just trying to go to work and mind my business. Did not expect it to turn into this. Update 2, April 26th, 2026. Alright, I need to clear something up first because a lot of you are stuck on the same thing. Yes, I did tell my fiance, I just didn't explain it well, or at all, in the post. When it first happened, I told her, but I didn't make it sound like a big deal because honestly, at the time, I didn't think it was. It just felt like a weird, awkward interaction, and I figured that was the end of it. So yeah, I mentioned it, but I definitely downplayed it. That's on me. Once everything blew up with her finding my fiance on Instagram, liking her pictures, and sending that message, that's when I told her everything. Full detail, nothing left out. I also showed her these posts and comments so she could see the timeline and what I had already said about it. We had a long talk after that, and we're good now. She was upset at first, which I get, but after seeing everything, she believes me, and we're solid. Now, work. This is where it gets a little worse. After I told my boss about the Instagram stuff, he asked me to come in early this morning. When I got there, his daughter was already there. Yeah. So there I was, sitting in the same room with both of them, which I was not expecting at all. My boss basically made her explain what she did, and instead of backing down, she doubled down. She straight up said she only reached out to my fiance because she thought I was leading her on, and that I was acting different when we were alone. I didn't even know what to say to that. I told him right there that wasn't true and repeated exactly what happened that night. She was about to say something, but my boss shut her down pretty quickly. He told her he didn't believe her version of events, and that what she did, crossing into my personal life, was completely out of line. She got pissed, like visibly pissed. Before she left, she looked at me and said something along the lines of, "This isn't over, you know that, right?" Which, yeah, not exactly what you want to hear at your workplace. After she left, my boss apologized again and said he's going to make sure she doesn't come back to the office anymore. He also told me if anything else happens, even outside of work, to tell him immediately. Since then, things at work have been tense, but not because of him. He's actually been more on my side than I expected. I'm just keeping my head down, documenting everything, and honestly, starting to look at other job options just in case this keeps escalating. Didn't think one awkward conversation at work would turn into this whole situation. Yeah, definitely learned my lesson about not downplaying stuff like this. Honestly, the boss is just a little too comfortable with this, or at least familiar with these actions here, so this is definitely not the first time the daughter's been doing this, and this probably isn't the first time the daughter's pursued a married man. So, yikes. It has been a week since OP's previous update, and I'll do my best to keep an eye on this one to see if it progresses from there. If it has updates worth covering, I'll be sure to kind of stitch everything together so that way you won't have to hunt down the previous post for context. It'll all be in one area, if of course this post ends up getting updates. This post was collected by Kimchi and Mayo, and their tagline is, "Grape juice dumb truck dumpy butt." The original OP is diligent type. Posted January 31st, 2020 to r/am I the asshole. Would I be the asshole if I complained to the owners of a cafe about how long it takes their employees to cut cheese? I work in an office building which has a cafe in it. It's not table service. You go up to the counter, you have a choice of a hot meal, soup, or a sandwich. The owners don't manage it as they are a catering company that supply the food in the morning. They leave the worker to deal with the distribution of paninis and soup. He is a pleasant person and very talkative, and there's nothing particularly odd about him, other than his apparent immunity to the passage of time itself. He will not prep anything. There's no sandwiches assembled and waiting to go. There's an empty fridge bit next to the counter. The racks stand barren, devoid of even a glimpse of a BLT. Okay, so the sandwiches are freshly prepared each time. Yes? Great. But he doesn't prep the ingredients either. He has to take out and cut these up every single time someone orders something, and he will take his time. The man will cut cheese with the concentration of someone disassembling the Large Hadron Collider, and he does it on an order-by-order basis. I will explain his process. There will be a line of 4 people, and the first will order a cheese panini. He will take out and cut open a panini from the cupboard. He will open the fridge, take out the 5-kilogram block of cheese, unwrap it, cut 3 slices with the aching determination of a man clinging to the last trace of his self-control, re-wrap the cheese, and place the cheese in the fridge. He will turn on the panini maker, it is not already on. He will assemble the panini and put it in. He will wait 20 minutes for the panini to cook, during which time he will start another order and begin the same process of taking out and unwrapping and slicing each ingredient before putting it away. He will take out, open, serve from, close, and put away each box of salad in turn. He will boil a kettle with enough water for 1 tea. Ladies and gentlemen, he will turn the machine off between paninis. Lunch only lasts 2 hours. We've had clients visit who attempt to get lunch during meeting breaks who return sandwichless and with a 1,000-yard stare. When he runs out of something, he doesn't score it off the board. Last week, he ran out of all types of cheese. All week. He just kept explaining it to everyone individually. He ponders about aimlessly like a Skyrim NPC in an inn. Insurmountable tasks mounting in front of him. But he honestly seems to enjoy working there. It's like he just doesn't grasp the concept of pre-sliced cheese and well-timed panini makers. We've mentioned how long it takes him, but he just sort of laughs and says, "Haha, fresh food. Just cut the cheese. Please! Just cut the cheese!" The reason he's running out of food is the owners aren't selling as much and they're adjusting their stock accordingly. There is a lot of demand, but the supply takes 30 minutes to toast a panini and spends it talking shite about how mild this winter is. It's honestly driving me insane. But still, I feel like it'd be a dick move. Notable comment from user Calvin Ball XYZ. No assholes here. The cheese man doesn't seem like an asshole, just not in the right job, maybe. Or maybe the owners get furious if he pre-slices and then some cheese gets wasted. If he runs out of cheese, he's clearly getting some sandwiches made, right? I think it's okay to bring it up with the owners that it takes too long to get a sandwich and they're losing business as a result. I would not throw your seemingly kind, happy server under the bus, though. Let them figure out why it takes so long and what processes or people should change. OP responds, "Thanks for this. That seems like the best course of action. I've discussed this with several other key players in the cheese drama and think we're going to do a bit of recon on the situation. We're sending the least threatening among us in a fluffy cardigan to the cafe to ask him if he can prep the food or if it's a weird owner thing. Words will be chosen better than this. We'll go when he isn't busy, which honestly is any other time not between 12 and 2. If he says, 'I'm not allowed,' we will take it up with the owners, emphasizing how lovely he is, and we think the lack of prep specifically, which we have established is not his fault but a top-down command but obviously will not reveal, is an issue, and we've noticed a long wait. If he says, 'What prep?' I will erupt, feral, from the cardigan screaming, pounce over the counter and eat the entire 5 kilograms of cheese." Update, January 1st, 2020. An update. I already ran out of characters, otherwise would have tagged this on the end. Other victims have weighed in upon my discussing this with him. He starts at about 9 a.m. and takes a cigarette break in the middle of the 2-hour lunch. Apparently, someone already asked him why he doesn't prep, and he told them it makes his hands sore. And I don't know if she had anything else to add there because at that point, I just started screaming. Also, to those of you picturing me as a petty, slightly weird man, I'm happy to reveal I'm actually a far pettier, deranged woman. Also, I need to stop milking it now because my exasperated boyfriend keeps asking me if I keep going quiet because I'm thinking about this post. And it's true. I am ruining Saturday. Going to bring it up kindly with a view to helping and supporting as per cardigan plan below, regardless. Also, thank you for all the awards. Holy shit. Final update, July 4th, 2021. Hello! So, I didn't update further as it felt like I was really milking the attention and being a bit insufferable, but that was probably somewhat my own anxiety about suddenly getting more than the attention of 3 people. I don't know if posting one here is okay. It probably is weird to do so, but just as you were interested. So, basically, I think the thing I failed to convey accurately was that the complaint was on behalf of everyone. Like, I wasn't routinely forgetting lunch, but we all do sometimes, and when you have an office of 40, that affects someone every day. Also affected our clients who visited, etc. Ultimately, my boss ended up complaining after the guy went for another cigarette break at exactly 1 p.m. But it was constructive and nice. And the guy ended up getting extra training, and the owner came in to assist at lunch and stuff. However, shit started getting crazy with COVID, so the focus kind of went away. We went into lockdown a few weeks after, if I remember correctly, and haven't been back in the building in over a year. Hopefully soon, though. But at this point, I'm kind of dreading it, as it means I need to spend money on new clothes. I've gained so much weight in lockdown that when I put on a bra and pants, I look like sausage links. The guy has a different job now in a call center, presumably costing them thousands in calls per minute due to his glacially chilled pace. So, I don't know if the cafe will even be open when we go back. Also, there were a few comments that the guy may have had autism. I don't know. I have a few friends with autism, and I used to work as both a teacher and support worker, so know a lot of people with autism. I appreciate, I don't know for certain, but I don't think he had it. I just think he didn't care that much, / wasn't really suited to hospitality. But one global pandemic later, it seems to have worked out. And look at that, 2 taglines in one! We have I will erupt feral from the cardigan screaming, and I'm actually a far pettier, deranged woman. It's a twofer! Also, this one is just an absolute treat to read. I figured this would be fun, because OP's writing style is just an absolute treat, and I can do some fun work with it. On a semi-related side note, I think the existence of American cheese, specifically Kraft American cheese, the kind that comes individually wrapped in plastic, I think that permanently made me see all American products as being a less than or some kind of just inferior version. Which is weird because American cheese slaps when it's in the right setting and context, like a grilled cheese, a hamburger. Like, if it's on the right thing, the way it melts is just perfect. And I would also be lying if I said that I've never gone to the fridge at 3 a.m. and unwrapped one and folded it into a neat little square and quickly shoved it into my mouth like a goddamn goblin. But at the same time, I also know that that is not a quality product. Like, compared to like a good smoked Gouda, or like a Swiss cheese, or really anything else, it's just not really a cheese. This post was collected by Direct Caterpillar 77, and their tagline is, Satan is not a pogo stick. The original OP is Hella Preggers, posted r/relationship advice April 12th, 2019. I, 32 female, think my husband, 33 male, may be having an affair with the girl, 19 female, next door. I'm also pregnant. My husband and I have been married for 4 years, dated for 7. We have 1 son, 2, and I'm 6 months pregnant. I love him deeply. He's a very busy lawyer and often comes home late at night. I never thought he'd cheat on me, but since I began to get bigger, we've been having less sex. A few months ago, a young woman moved into the condo about 2 doors down. She's a very beautiful girl, but a bit aloof to me. We did invite her over to a dinner party when she first came, a few weeks ago. I noticed that my husband followed her on Instagram and added her on Snap. I asked him about it, and he said she followed him first, and he didn't want to be rude. Last week, I started noticing him using his phone more and more, and generally being distracted. He said it was due to work, but 2 days ago, I saw a Snap notification on his phone with our neighbor's name on it. I asked him why he was Snapchatting her, and he said that she was interested in law, and was asking him career advice. At 12 a.m., apparently. Via Snapchat. Yesterday, I was taking his suits to the dry cleaners and found a receipt for a sushi restaurant from a few nights ago, when he said he was working late at his office. The sushi restaurant is close to our condo complex and nowhere near his office. There were 2 meals billed on the receipt. I confronted him when he came home from work, and he said he took a client out for dinner. But there were so many nice restaurants near his office. Why the one near our house? I'm almost 90% certain he's cheating. What should I even do? I'm about to be a mother of 2. I never even prepared for the possibility of this happening in our marriage, and definitely not this soon. Advice, please. Relevant comments. Carnivore69 comments. Given you can't be certain he's cheating yet, the first thing you need to do is quit confronting him for every discrepancy you notice. By doing so, he'll become more and more aware you're picking up on his activities, whatever they are. If those activities involve cheating, your actions will likely cause him to be more stealthy and adept at covering his tracks. Use more restraint and let the evidence pile up until you can ascertain what's really going on. And be sure to document your findings however you can. In the meantime, act like your antenna isn't up and let him relax around you. User pointless username comments. I would tell my partner that him being a 33-year-old man Snapchatting a 19-year-old girl is completely inappropriate, and she can ask Google or any other lawyer for advice. Unacceptable. User Cucky McCuckercuck. Do you have the disposable funds necessary to hire a private investigator, in part to confirm, but also as an investment for a more favorable divorce settlement? Opie responds, we have a joint account and he might get suspicious if I withdraw a large sum of money. Maybe I can just investigate it myself? Update, April 19th, 2019, 1 week later. Thanks for everybody's advice on my first post. It's been an interesting week to say the least. Last Friday, after work, he left for a supposed weekend golfing trip with his 2 friends to a place only an hour drive away. Before he left, I texted the wife of one of his friends if she wanted to get together for brunch on Sunday. She said she had plans with her husband. I then texted the wife of his other friend, and surprise, she confirmed that her husband was at home and not going on any trip. I pretended like I didn't know and said goodbye to my husband as usual. However, I had asked my retired uncle, 65, to follow my husband's car. My husband does not know my uncle, so I thought it was a good plan. My uncle followed him to the airport and took a picture of him walking with the neighbor girl. He followed them and said they checked into an airline with flights going to the Caribbean. I thanked my uncle and gave him money for gas and his time, but he refused. I was obviously devastated, and my son and I stayed with him and my aunt for the night. They advised me to find a good divorce lawyer right away. When my husband came home Sunday night, I said I was filing for divorce. He acted really shocked and hurt and asked me why. I said I knew about his affair and I had proof, so he could stop acting stupid. He said I was mistaken. I then asked whether he enjoyed his beach vacation, and the look on his face was just undeniable. I guess he finally realized he was backed into a corner and had no more lies left to tell. I told him I just wanted to know why. He said that he was shy and insecure growing up and that he had really low self-esteem. He said he felt validated by the attention of a younger woman and said it made him feel wanted. He admitted that it was a crush gone wrong. I said there's no way I can trust him again. He said that's understandable and that he was sorry it has come to this. He said he probably made a mistake by marrying in his 20s, that some men were ready to settle down at that age, but he realized that he was not one of them. He said that he still loved me though, but that it was best if we went our separate ways. The shittiest part of all of this? He's staying at his mistress's condo a few doors down while we get our divorce. It will be a long few months, but I'm getting a good lawyer and making sure the future of my kids are secured. I also have a good support system around me. I'm planning on moving to another city after the divorce. It will be a while before I can learn to trust again. I've never hurt so much in my entire life. This level of betrayal from someone you thought was your soulmate is just indescribable. But I'm going to remain hopeful. Thanks for everyone's help and support. I wish it turned out different. Too long didn't read, had my uncle follow my husband. He lied about a golfing trip. He actually went to the Caribbean with his mistress. You guys think the lawyer dude knew that his whirlwind fling with a 19-year-old who's, about 14 years younger than him would end with them not being together for all of time and it's just a temporary little fling? I mean, if he settled down in his 20s and he regretted that, do you really think she's gonna settle down when she's 19? Although, if I'm going to be honest, there is one factor which definitely makes me raise an eyebrow, and that's the fact that the uncle somehow managed to follow them and they checked into an airline with flights going to the Caribbean. How would he overhear them talking about where their flight is without them getting suspicious? How was he able to follow them into the airport without them being suspicious? How did the uncle not lose them in the airport, let alone potentially overhear in such a loud environment? The only way that I could see this happening is if this was a very, very small airport, like very local, like Missoula, Montana, and it would be easier to then hear them going to the ticket gate and purchasing a ticket, if they were purchasing it in cash the moment of. The other option I could potentially see is that if, because they have a shared joint bank account, the husband had purchased the tickets in cash and then went to go scan the tickets like a little kiosk check-in thingamabob, and then in big letters it was like Cancun, and the uncle saw that. Those are really the only two options that I can think of that make sense as to how the uncle could have seen where they were going for their vacation. Or maybe the uncle just lied and did something fucked up where he's like, yeah, your husband's cheating on you, and they're going to the Caribbean without you. That'd be pretty messed up. If that's also the uncle's behavior, I guess that would make sense why the husband never met him. This post was collected by Shark Ava, and their tagline is, "You get what you pay for and Reddit is free." The original OP is Goldwind 5888, posted to r/mytheasshole, October 19th, 2024. Am I the asshole for crying when my boyfriend let his best friend's wife alter the dish I made for dinner? My boyfriend, 28 male, and I, 22 female, met at work 2 years ago. Technically, I was working part-time during undergrad and he was a customer, but after a couple of months, we started going out. I really love this man and nothing has happened on this scale before, so I'm very confused about it. My boyfriend has a very tight group of friends. I'm well acquainted with them, and their girlfriends. One of them, Dave, is married to Ellie, fake names. Ellie is an excellent cook and often hosts dinners, and everyone brings a dessert to those dinners. I am the youngest in the group, so most times they brush off my requests for contributing or bringing in a dessert. However, the last time I asked Dave and Ellie if they wanted anything extra, like wine or some sweet dish for dinner, they said I could bring one of those sweet dishes I make for my boyfriend. I'm Indian, and even though I can't cook as well as my mom, and I'm, well, in a different country for studies, I called my mom up and had her teach me properly how to make a specific Bengali sweet, which is my favorite. I had my friends taste it, and they said it was great. My boyfriend ate some and said it was excellent. Except, last night, I greeted Ellie and kept the dish in the kitchen. When the food was brought out and my boyfriend told everyone I made it, I saw that someone had added cinnamon powder to the sweet. You never have the sweet with cinnamon powder. The dessert tasted like cinnamon and I felt horrible, though everyone said thank you and it was good. I think my face gave it away and my boyfriend took me aside and said that Ellie had told him that my sweet looked too white and thought some cinnamon might bring some color into it. I don't know. I just felt awful and I started to tear up. My boyfriend then defended Ellie and said that his friends already think I'm a child and not to make a big deal of this and we'll talk about it. I told him, Ellie asked him first, couldn't he have told her not to add cinnamon to the sweet? He told me he didn't think it was a big deal and asked me to drop the topic on the way home. I didn't text him goodnight, and this morning he said he was sorry, and said my crying made him feel like an awful person. I don't know. Now I think I overreacted. Am I the asshole? Update, Ellie saw this post. My boyfriend texted me to see if it was me. I said yes. He said we need to talk. For safety purposes, my best friend will be here. I don't know. I never expected my post to blow up. Comments. User eThoughtExpress comments. So your boyfriend doesn't defend you and apparently all his friends think you're a child, which he also doesn't defend you against. He's also got 6 years on you. Dude's nearing 30. Does your boyfriend often treat you like a child? Does your boyfriend usually defend his friends when they do some fuck shit like this? Does your boyfriend defend you at all? He should feel like an awful person. He's an awful boyfriend. Opie responds, I usually just hang around my boyfriend's friends during these dinners. I admit I feel a little left out because they all have been friends for so long, and I'm from a different culture, but they've never said any outright offensive things to me. My boyfriend doesn't treat me like a child. He mentioned before that due to my age, his friends see me like a much younger sister. So I guess that's why he said it. I don't know. I'm kind of rethinking his words. User just trying to exist comments, I dated a guy like that with a friend like that for too long, and let me tell you, it will never matter how much you age, they will always treat you like the little kid outsider. Judgment, not the asshole. Update, 2 days later. He said he needed space from the relationship. I think the way this post blew up and what happened because of a post, I should clear up some things. I never asked if I should leave my boyfriend for this. I asked if this was an overreaction, my crying. But having thousands of people tell me this was racially charged, Ellie wanted power, my boyfriend is shitty, etc., my brain went haywire. Boyfriend called yesterday, and when I got there, his house, with my best friend, Dave and Ellie were there. Ellie was crying and Dave looked really pissed at me. My boyfriend told me to sit down and Dave started with, how could I make a post that most of the people in the dinner party would recognize and know, and could shame Ellie and my boyfriend? My boyfriend was silent and wouldn't even look at me, and was only shaking his head. It felt like I was a kid being scolded by my parents with my elder sibling disappointed in my actions. That is what I felt, and it looked. I admit it was very spineless of me, but Dave went on for like a minute, and I was just looking at my boyfriend, waiting for him to defend me. I asked Ellie why she would alter my dish after telling me to bring an Indian dish. She said she thought Indian food would be brown. This woman has more Indian friends than me, and she thinks Indian food is brown. She grew up in the UK for fuck's sakes. And I felt so defeated. The comments, my friends, and people around me telling me his friends came first to him, not me. He said he didn't think the sweet was a big deal. I told him I would never let my friend alter something he spent 3 days learning, getting people to taste it, and got his mom involved in. He saw I put a lot of effort into it, so why let her alter it? Why couldn't he ask me? Ellie started to cry and say that she wasn't being racist, she just wouldn't know that I put effort into it, and now she couldn't host dinners again. I said I used fake names, so why does it matter? Unless she and Dave went around telling people. Boyfriend told me he didn't expect this from me. My best friend piped up that he expected that my boyfriend would have a fucking spine. So I guess they were both disappointed. My, I guess now ex-boyfriend told me in front of Dave and Ellie that he needs some space. I told him to get lost. I don't know what my boyfriend said to him after that, considering I left my boyfriend's flat. I kind of tripped in the metro station, so now I'm crying on my best friend's couch with an ice pack while his boyfriend keeps giving me peach schnapps and my relationship has toppled over. I wouldn't have stormed out had he looked at me once. He just looked 100% on Dave and Ellie's side and acted like I was the one with the problem when she caused me hurt. If his friends come first when they cause me hurt, where would I have been if I decided to marry this man? My friends are good to me and are acting like I'm some fragile glass. I even heard my best friend and his brother whispering loudly from the kitchen and his elder brother wanting to threaten him via Insta DMs. I hate that it has come to this, considering I have always been the mom friend to my friend group. I'm drunk while writing this, so have some grace in the comments. Also, if you'll be like an incel, like those people in my DMs telling me I'll never keep a man if I'm this dramatic, please go away. I just thought I needed to update. That's it. Thanks, guys. Edit. Guys, this is the first time I faced what y'all have been calling racism. To be honest, I didn't see Ellie putting cinnamon into my rashagola as racism. I was just hurt that my days of hard work was ruined. That's it. I understand I need to work on my self-esteem and not let people walk over me. My best friend's elder brother, he's a doctor and is super pissed at my ex right now because he didn't know what happened, booked an appointment with a therapist he knows, as he thinks I need mental help to not normalize aggressive behavior. I'm sorry for ranting on Reddit, but I guess that's where I am. Both my best friend and I will be going. He had been there for some time before, and the situation is tense at home because Dada, Bestie's brother, didn't know what was happening and tore my friends a new one for not protesting when Dave said shit to me. I still haven't told him it was over a Reddit post and that I'm writing here. I feel awful, and I don't know how to tell my mom she was right. I wish I never went out with him. One of my ex's friends from the dinner party asked me if I really left my ex over a dessert, so I guess that's what he told people. It hurts. I know it shouldn't, but it hurts. I think it's partially my fault. I shouldn't have let myself be treated like this. There were signs and I ignored them. And now I think I'll never have another relationship because it feels like a horrible, anxious feeling. Comments. Lee Jadis. She thought Indian food was brown and she expects you to apologize for being upset by her racist thoughtfulness? Your boyfriend sucks. His friends suck. You dodged a bullet. Edited to add that I really hope Ellie tells all her Indian friends how she improved the dish with cinnamon. User Pipeit_4 comments. So racist. All of them. And what a bullshit excuse. Just her comments doubling down show how racist she actually is. OP, you absolutely dodged a bullet. This guy is a spineless, pathetic loser. You are so much better off without him. User Kitsuna VT comments. So, all Indian women are dumb, childish, and inconsiderate? But OP's ex will date one? It's a reminder that people will be with you even if they don't like you. They'll say they like you and pretend, but when the cards fall, they fall face up. They show you what they think of you. It oozes out. There are some who are active serial killers and their partners don't know. He wanted someone dumb and childish. He wanted someone he could insult and control. Update 2. Am I the asshole for crying when my boyfriend let his best friend's wife alter the dish I made for dinner 17 days later? I'm again grateful for the barrage of supportive messages and chiding I've received from the internet after the cinnamon fiasco in my post causing a breakup. I'm updating because I felt like I should just update about recent events, and honestly, after just more than 2 weeks, I've started to feel good about myself, even though I feel like shit whenever I remember my ex. I really hope I can put this whole thing to rest and I don't have to update again, for my sanity. Firstly, my ex called a few times last week. I had blocked him earlier, literally like 2 days after breaking up. And whenever he called my friends, they wouldn't pick up either. I wanted to handle this matter gracefully, and unlike what some people commented, no, I did not want my issues all over the internet and did not understand what was happening. I just wanted some advice on how to deal with my emotions and didn't want my friends to be mad at my then boyfriend. Thankfully, the trash took itself out. I still don't know if Ellie was racially motivated or if she just hated me. I don't even care now. I don't want a man who makes his friends scold me and humiliate me. I know I deserve to be at least somebody's first choice. Ex came by at my best friend's flat. I don't live there, and from what I heard from my bestie's boyfriend, he said he was very sorry, and he now felt like I didn't deserve to be treated like that. He had thought when he broke up with me that I was overreacting and it was just a small thing I made a big deal out of. But then, a few of his friends explained to Ellie that it definitely was a horrible thing to do, and told my ex he was a shit boyfriend. Huh, who knew he had nice friends too? X didn't say anything more after that, just he was sorry, and he said he doesn't want more hurt between us. I've decided to not contact him. I'm just done. A lecture from my mother on dating idiot men and crying every night for over a week has made me lethargic. And on top, I am fending off Dada, Bestie's elder brothers, insisting that I move in with them for some time because I'm not eating well. My dad said it's okay if I do. My family trusts my bestie and his family a lot. Needless to say, my work and studies are suffering. I haven't heard from Ellie or Dave, and I don't intend to. The person who asked me if I left my ex over dessert, I told her what happened, and she was appalled. I don't know what she told my ex for him to apologize. Honestly, I'm so done with that group's shit. I went to one therapy session and I didn't feel good. I know I have to keep going for it to actually help me, but I can't help feeling so down. I've never been so emotionally low in my life, and I am officially not dating for the foreseeable future. I'm planning a trip with my friends after my final semester of my master's, and I really hope I don't bring the mood down for my friends who have been so supportive and have always made me feel I have a family, even though I'm away from home. I don't know what I would have done without having my best friend and his boyfriend, who keep telling me to drink the pain away, and Dada keeps on talking about the negative effects of becoming an alcoholic. Overall, I'm closing this chapter, and I don't think I'll need to update again. I'm not ever talking again to Dave or Ellie or my ex, so I don't expect any more drama. I just want to settle down to work and graduate properly. Comments. Cherry Block Red Wine comments. I'm officially not dating for the foreseeable future. This is excellent. Take some time for yourself. Take care of you. You deserve it. You are exactly right to give the therapy a chance to work. Please take the time to love yourself a little more and get used to putting yourself first. There's a reason we're told to put on your own oxygen masks first in an airplane before helping others. Hugs from an internet stranger, if you'll have them. Use your beep beep crunch comments. Other friends of the ex telling him off gives me hope for humanity, not gonna lie. Use your catastrophe of a life comments. So, he broke up with OP, basically because his friends were saying she's making a big deal over nothing. So he did what his friends wanted. Now he's apologizing because some of his other friends said he should. So he's still choosing his friends over what was his then partner. User I am Ferris, man! The dude couldn't find a spine in the Paris catacombs. Comment from last friend 6350. What a shit apology. I thought you were overreacting, but now because my friends say it was a shitty thing for Ellie to do, I have now decided it actually was a shitty thing to do. We all make mistakes, am I right? I mean, it's quite funny when you think of it. Hello? Hello? God, she dodged a cannon. OP 100% made the right choice here. If I were to guess, I would say the reason they had the whole sit-down thing was in hopes that OP would delete the Reddit post, because they didn't like the fact that they were being actively flamed and just incinerated on the internet. Considering they saw OP's post, continued to say that she was overreacting, and didn't even try to question or dispute the actual contents of the post itself, just more focused on scolding OP like a child. My guess would be is they were hoping to break her down to a point where she would delete the post, so that way they could hide from all the nasty comments that were dedicated towards them. The thing is, if Ellie actually meant well, the conversation would have been different. It would have been I am so sorry. I did not mean for this to hurt this way. I thought adding cinnamon would have made the dish more X, Y, and Z. I really just wanted to help. I am so sorry. It could have been a genuine apology. It could have been the approach of, we fucked up, we're sorry. We didn't know how much this hurt you. Instead, they ambushed OP. My guess would be they were fully expecting it to just be OP alone. I don't know if they were anticipating the friend tagging along, but either way, they were outnumbered, and they made no attempt to even try to understand why OP might even be a little bit upset. Instead, Ellie makes it about her. She starts crying because of the Reddit post, that she wasn't being racist, she didn't know she put effort into it, but now, because of the Reddit post, she can't host dinners ever again. Ellie isn't a good person for a variety of reasons, and OP 100% has made the correct decision to walk away, and I'm very happy that OP has an extremely healthy support system surrounding her. Also, this post is a tagline origin for the dude couldn't find a spine in the Paris catacombs. Ta-da! Oh god, welcome to the outro. Hey, right now GamerSupps is doing a collab with Ruby, RWBY, and the flavor profile is raspberry, white peach, blackberry, and yuzu lime. RWBY. It's kind of funny they're doing that. But yeah, if you're a fan of Ruby, like I am, and no, the Oz avatar is not based on Ruby, it's just a fun coinky dink that I just rolled with. I swear. Also, as a not-so-fun fact, you know, an unfortunate part about having a vocal booth that you have to stand in to record means that if you spend your entire day standing, well, my legs hurt, and I want to go to bed.